little teary-eyed. But yeah, and then I wake up the next day and like have a phone call like with my lawyers for one of the lawsuits, and I knew that it was gonna be like a big L. And it, like, I'm just sitting on the phone call for literally like something I did not do. Like it's and it goes back to like people just like attacking Jake Paul and like wanting to see me fail for literally like fucking nothing. Like they're suing me for something I didn't do. Like, on God, it's just the most bullshit thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of fucking money for no reason. And I'm like, it just pisses me the fuck off. And then
you're good. Take a break.
Yeah, take a breather. We can sit for a second. Why don't you?
I fucking hate.
Why don't you go give your brother a hug before I do? Maybe you can sit on that side with him for a second.
All right, so Jake Paul might have just hit rock bottom after what went down with Mike Tyson. If you thought Jake's boxing career was already hanging by a thread, well, think again. Things have taken a turn for the worse, and it's looking like he just got absolutely dismantled by the legendary Iron Mike, and I'm not talking about an official match. Oh no, this went down during what was supposed to be a simple sparring session. But leave it to Tyson to make even that feel like a title fight. Word on the street is that Tyson hit Jake with a knockout blow, and now people are wondering if Jake's boxing dreams are over before they truly began. So, here's the deal. Jake Paul was gearing up for a highly anticipated fight against Mike Tyson. Everyone was buzzing about this matchup, the YouTuber turned boxer squaring off against one of the most feared heavyweights of all time. It was shaping up to be one of the biggest spectacles in recent boxing history. But things went off the rails way before the fight was even set to happen. According to multiple sources, Jake and Mike decided to have a private sparring session, just to test the waters, feel each other out, and see how things might go when the real fight happens. But of course, when Mike Tyson is involved, nothing's just a spar. The sparring session, which was supposed to be a low-key tune-up, quickly turned into something much more intense. Jake, who has built his whole brand on confidence and bravado, stepped into the ring thinking he could hold his own. Big mistake. Mike Tyson didn't come to play games. Let's not forget, this is the same guy who was knocking people out cold in his prime, and even at 58, he's still a force to be reckoned with. Reports say that during the sparring session, Jake was throwing punches, trying to dance around the ring like he usually does, but he was in over his head. Mike, with all his experience, saw right through Jake's moves. And then, it happened. Out of nowhere, Tyson landed a clean, brutal punch that sent Jake crashing to the canvas. And this wasn't one of those friendly taps, like, hey, let's take it easy since we're just sparring. No, this was a full-on, lights-out hit. The kind of punch that makes you question your life choices. Jake was reportedly left stunned, struggling to even get back on his feet. This was a gut punch not just to Jake's body, but to his entire career. Here's where things get even crazier. Even though this was supposed to be a private sparring session, word spread faster than wildfire. As soon as Jake hit the canvas, news started leaking online. And if you know anything about the fight world, you know that nothing stays secret for long, especially when it involves Jake Paul. Within hours, clips of the knockout started circulating on social media, and the reaction was brutal. The fight world was buzzing, fans were roasting Jake, and suddenly, everyone was questioning if Jake could even show his face in the ring again, let alone actually fight Tyson. Now, sparring is supposed to be a way to prepare for a fight. But after this, people are asking a bigger question. Should Jake even step into the ring with Mike Tyson for real? I mean, if he can't handle sparring, what's going to happen in an actual fight? One of the key points that had people interested in this fight was the huge age gap between Jake and Mike. Mike is 58 years old, while Jake is only 27. On paper, that should have worked in Jake's favor, right? He's younger, faster, and theoretically in his prime. But here's the thing, experience beats youth, especially when we're talking about Mike Tyson. Jake has made a career out of hyping himself up, acting like he's the underdog who always pulls through. But when it comes to real boxing, especially against a legend like Tyson, all the hype in the world won't save you from a well-placed punch. And that's exactly what happened here. Tyson's experience, power, and instincts were just too much for Jake to handle, and now people are seriously doubting if Jake can even make it to fight night. So, where does this leave Jake Paul? Well, it's not looking good. This knockout has done more than just bruise Jake's ego, it's shaken the very foundation of his boxing career. Jake's already been hit with numerous controversies over the years. From lawsuits to accusations of steroid use to questions about whether his fights are rigged, the guy's had no shortage of drama. But this? This might just be the final straw. Jake has always relied on his ability to generate hype, but no amount of Instagram posts or YouTube videos can erase the fact that Mike Tyson just knocked him flat on his back in a sparring session. The fight world has been ruthless in its criticism, and Jake's fans are starting to question if he's really cut out for this. And honestly, can you blame them? Jake's entire image as a boxer is built on his bravado, his ability to sell a fight, and the idea that he's this unbeatable force. But when you get dropped in sparring, it's hard to keep that image intact. The real question now is whether Jake can even recover from this, both physically and mentally. If you thought things couldn't get worse for Jake, buckle up, because they do. On top of getting knocked out, Mike Tyson has now come forward with some serious accusations. Tyson, who's never been one to mince words, is accusing Jake of using steroids. And this isn't some throwaway comment made to stir the pot. Tyson claims he has receipts. Now, let's rewind for a second. This isn't the first time Jake Paul has been accused of using performance-enhancing drugs. Ever since he transitioned from YouTuber to boxer, people have been raising eyebrows at his rapid transformation. How does a guy go from pulling pranks on YouTube to looking like a heavyweight contender in such a short amount of time? UFC President Dana White has been one of the loudest voices questioning Jake's sudden bulk up, and he's even challenged Jake to take random drug tests. And guess what? Jake dodged that challenge.
I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you for the next 2 years.
Instead of stepping up and proving he's clean, Jake has avoided the issue entirely, which only fuels the speculation. And now, Tyson's adding fuel to the fire by claiming he has proof that Jake's been juicing. If this is true, it could be the nail in the coffin for Jake's boxing career. Let's not sugarcoat this. Steroid accusations are career killers in the fight world. If there's even a shred of evidence that Jake has been using PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, it could completely destroy his credibility. Fans want to believe that their favorite athletes are winning because of their hard work, dedication, and skill, not because they're getting an unfair advantage through drugs. And when someone like Mike Tyson makes these kinds of accusations, people listen. Tyson is a legend, someone who has seen it all in the boxing world. So when he comes forward and says Jake's been using PEDs, it's not just some random accusation. It's serious. The fight world is buzzing about this, and fans are starting to connect the dots. How did Jake go from being a prankster to a full-blown boxer so quickly? How did he bulk up in such a short amount of time? If Tyson's claims are true, Jake's entire career could come crashing down. And let's be real, even if the accusations are false, the mere fact that they're out there is enough to damage Jake's reputation. So, what's next for Jake Paul? Can he bounce back from this? It's hard to say. On one hand, Jake's made a career out of being controversial. He thrives on the drama and the attention, and in some weird way, this might actually work in his favor. But on the other hand, there's only so much a person can take. Between the knockout from Tyson and the steroid accusations, Jake's got an uphill battle ahead of him. He can try to spin this, sure, but the fight world has a long memory, and fans aren't going to forget that Mike Tyson put him on the canvas during a sparring session. And if the steroid accusations turn out to be true, well, Jake's boxing career might be over before it really even got started. At this point, the ball's in Jake's court. Will he try to salvage his reputation, or will he quietly fade away from the boxing scene? One thing's for sure, the entire fight world is watching, and they're ready to see what happens next. What do you think, fight fans? Is Jake Paul done for good? Can he recover from this, or has Tyson officially ended his boxing dreams? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson saga. This story is far from over.